We are brought to you today by Kai CBD, a Las Vegas-based health and wellness brand that crafts a full-spectrum CBD hemp-derived product line. Made with 100% love, the brand was created by a 20-year licensed massage therapist for her husband who suffers from chronic pain. Healing is what Kai lives for. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram and mention Pop Culture Corner to receive 10% off your order of all or any of their CBD-derived product line. Guys, their website is in the works. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram. The links are in the description below. Mention Pop Culture Corner and get 10% off. This ad is an easy one for me. Easy, as I use the products myself. They are wonderful. So head over, mention Pop Culture Corner, and get 10% off your order of all orders forever. Alrighty. Welcome to the show.
That's right.
Welcome, folks. Ty is
Welcome,
back.
welcome.
You can erase that goddamn thing in your corner. You are not the Ty now. Get it out of here.
Oh, you're back. This is it. This is the official
This is it.
return?
This is the return. The Ty's return. No, I'm just kidding.
Technically, you never left. You have been on the stream every day.
Yeah, almost. But I haven't been doing anything else, like going on any other shows. I've been going to sleep at a reasonable time. It's been wonderful. Tonight, we're going to do something different. We are going to allow people to call in instead of like join in, like with your video. You can call the number that's pinned in the chat. As always, guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Comment, send a super chat, say hello, comment something, get our attention, call us ugly. But remember, everybody, be respectful. That's all we ask. Always be respectful of the chat and to each other, because that's what we're here for, is just to talk to each other and have a good time, right? So lots been going on lately.
Yeah.
So what do you want to start with? Because I just want to say, I mean, I haven't really got to talk too much about it, but that Eternals trailer.
That was sick.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I did see your reaction. I did watch your reaction last night.
Oh my god.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. That trailer is. I've watched it about 1,000 times already. I love it. I think that's one of their best trailers for sure.
And yes, thank you for the. I love this shirt. I love it. I have a lot. I have a lot of plaid shirts, and I'm a real. I'm into plaid. Is basically what I'm saying. Yeah, no. And listen, so they teased in Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember them teasing the Celestials in that little wormhole thing when they were talking about something, and you see that Celestial, and then, you know, when they reveal it in this Eternals trailer, like that blew my mind. Like I couldn't believe. And then, you know, the Eternals teaser, the first one that came out, like really didn't do it for me. But this trailer really did do it. Like this showed off exactly. And I have another video that I did where I kind of explained each of the characters, Icarus, Sprite, all of them. And I checked that out. I'll link it, but I linked it in the trailer reaction. Dude, these characters are amazing, and I cannot wait to see them on screen.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Look, I've been hyped for this movie as soon as I heard about it, because I know Chloe Zhao. I know you guys be hating on Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, but I'm telling you, man, she's the perfect person to make this movie.
Okay, I don't think she's the perfect person to make this movie. I don't think she's the perfect person to make this movie. However, I think what is coming out of it looks to be something marvelous, and no pun intended. No pun
Marvelous.
intended. I don't think she's perfect. I really don't. I don't think she's a perfect director for Eternals. I never thought that the decision to bring her on to do this movie made much sense. However, she seems to have struck gold in the cinematography, and it's beautiful. Like just from the trailer.
The cinematography, man, the story. Look, she worked very closely with Jack Kirby himself on the story, and on putting this together. She's a massive manga and anime fan, and you can see that in the trailer. Her a lot of the fight sequences. I really do. I think she hasn't had an opportunity to do a big budget film or anything like this before, but I do think she's the perfect person for this. She has a lot of love for these characters and for these types of things. A lot of love for sci-fi as well, and I think I can't wait. I can't wait. I loved Nomadland and what she can do with story. If she can do with story what she did with Nomadland in this, and make people see and feel cultures in a way that is real and raw, like she did with Nomadland, I think she's got a massive hit.
Nomadland is so boring, dude.
You did.
That's boring.
If you go in with that mindset, of course it is, man. But I like boring movies. Also, like that's the case for me. I do like boring movies.
No, like okay. Listen.
I famously like
whatever. It's not a boring movie. It's not. It's just it's a movie about something I don't really care for.
Right.
It's something I don't want to watch, and I never want to watch because I could literally live it if I really wanted to.
Wait. So did you watch Nomadland?
I did. I got to 20 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay, certain person that I've been arguing with for weeks that I won't mention, but oh wow.
What? Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I'll put it in the private chat.
No. But I just whatever. It is what it is. However, Eternals looks to be coming like the Deviants. I was kind of worried because the Deviants, the way they're drawn in the comics, they're very goofy looking. In recent runs, they've gotten a little bit better, like about drawing them. But I really knew that was going to be what the hardest thing to tackle in this new, in this live action thing was how is she going to approach creating the Deviants? Because the Deviants, no Deviant is the same, right? They all have different mutations that none of them are exactly alike, right? So each one looks different. Thanos is technically a deviant. He's also.
But I don't think he will be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think he'll be.
He's not a deviant. He's an Eternal with the deviant.
Yeah. So in the comics, he's a deviant, but in the MCU, I think they're going to.
He's an Eternal with the deviant gene, aka he's also a deviant.
I don't think.
He's a classified. He classifies as Eternal,
but not.
First off, don't come into the stream without allowing it. What we're saying,
Ty is really back. It's his channel.
Listen, he's got the deviant gene.
Dude, listen to the trailer. What is the one thing that they say in the trailer? We can't interfere unless deviants are involved. How come they didn't interfere with?
Maybe they they did. Maybe in the MCU he won't be a deviant. But but he does have the deviant gene. He does have it.
Yeah.
He does have it
comics.
In the comics. Maybe they didn't. You're right. You know what? I didn't think about that.
Yep.
Good on you. You. Because they specifically bring up that point.
They do. Which is, I'm glad they did, because that's what everybody's been asking, like, since the first teaser. Like, since the teaser came out, they're like, why is why does this movie even exist? Because, like, why didn't you help out with Thanos? So I'm glad I feel like they needed to address that.
But that's a really wow. You know what? I'm happy that you caught that, because I didn't catch that. It didn't really occur to me, I suppose, because when they talk about Thanos, I was like, okay, obviously they're going to talk about Thanos. It just happened. But I like how they're building it into the storyline. Like, okay, so when they brought everyone back, that allowed for the divergence to occur, the energy, right? I like how but yes, so maybe Thanos won't have the deviant gene, but I still think Thanos is going to be a part of the Eternal story. I think when they do the backstory part of it, if they do a backstory part of it, I do believe that we will see a younger Thanos. And I think that'd be really cool. And maybe we'll get some explanation on what Caiden was trying to say, like, because he is an Eternal with the deviant gene, which is rare. It's very rare, and that's why he was kind of like outcasted, and because his thought process, because he's a nut job. That also didn't help.
Absolutely. That's the thing. So and we all know, right? With Marvel, they're famous for doing this. Is they're going to involve Thanos because we know Thanos has involvement, in the comics with these, but they're going to change something. And that's what I think, with the trailer they explained, they're going to change that he's a deviant.
Yeah.
But obviously he's still, we still know he's incredibly powerful. He's an incredible. So I'm sure he'd cross paths with the Eternals or something. Maybe they'll explain, and we've seen concept art too, I think, of like a younger Thanos and stuff. So we know he's going to show up.
Yeah. And I'm actually super excited about it because
me too. Yeah.
I know the Thanos, we know how that Thanos story ends, right? We know how it ends. Yes. I do kind of, I'm intrigued to see. Because
he talked about his beginnings.
I'm intrigued to see what the relationship between him and the people of the planet were. Like, what did they think of his thoughts and what he wanted to do? The what if thing was kind of like, it was like a cool, like little, like they brought it in and, T'Challa talked about it with a conversation, and which was funny, but that's why it's in What If. However, this is definitely going to be more serious. We're going to see some really cool stuff. There are some things. We see Kit Harington, his character. He does become a certain character. I've been very vocal about not.
Dude, you know what? I tried doing the same thing the other night on Jibing with Jack when we did our trailer reaction, and I was like, I know who Kit Harington is, but I don't want to say. And literally everyone in the chat. So at this point, put it in the chat. And I was like, cool. At this point, I think everybody knows. It's
okay. All right. As long as everyone knows, then
everybody knows. It's. I was trying to do the same thing, and then like the chat lit up with Black Knight. I was like,
yeah.
Cool.
and for me, this is a dream come true, seeing the Stark brothers come back to together in a film, and the relationship between, oh my god, it's just good. This movie looks beautiful. And then, not to mention, we have Shang-Chi that's also coming, or Shang-Chi, they pronounce it pretty vocally in the trailer, Shang, so I gotta say it right, Shang-Chi. That movie looks dope as hell too. Yep, it does. Marvel, I really thought this year was going to be the year DC, but listen, Marvel's coming in hot. Marvel right now is coming in hot.
Speaking of DC, I got through season 1 and 2 of Titans. I'm on episode 1 of season 3.
Okay.
I have a massive. I don't think I've ever had such a love-hate relationship with a television show.
Yeah.
Because there are so many elements that I absolutely love. I love Starfire. It's like episode 1 of season 3. I love Barbara Gordon.
I'm not okay with the Barbara Gordon casting.
I haven't gotten too far. Obviously, I'm on episode 1, but episode 1, I like her a lot.
Okay.
But there are also a lot of issues I have with it.
I have a lot of issues with Bruce Wayne.
A lot of issues with Bruce Wayne.
A lot of issues Bruce Wayne is definitely takes me out. However, like I wrote in the article, Barbara Gordon and Bruce Wayne, or Ian Glenn, and I don't know what her name is. I don't know what her real name is. Let's call her Barbara Gordon for the sake of it. Right. They progress the story when it's needed, but they don't do anything for me. They don't do it. They don't do it for me. Like they don't. I don't enjoy their casting at all. However, when they are needed to move the story forward, they allow for it to happen. So I guess they're playing their parts, right?
Right. I did
That's
very
it.
much enjoy. Okay, Jason Todd is great. The kid that plays Jason Todd, he's great.
He is amazing.
He's great.
He is amazing.
I actually
Curran Walters is just, and I would love to. We're really working on getting him on here because I would love. Brandon Spink
awesome.
knows him and I reached out and asked for a favor. So hopefully that will happen. And
right.
no, Curran Walters is perfect. I think but this is what Titans suffers from. Titans suffers from not realizing that it's a show about the Titans. And not just
trying to be about
the
everything else.
Family.
It's trying to be about everything else.
It's mostly the Dick and Jason story.
And that's the other thing too. I feel like going into season 3, I was like, all right, now this kind of feels rushed with the whole. All right, now we got Superboy in season 2. We're getting Jason Todd pretty quickly after just a season of Jason Todd. We're getting Red Hood pretty quickly after just a season of Jason Todd. But I mean, like I said, there's a lot of elements that I like and a lot of elements I don't like. Interestingly enough, I don't like Ian Glenn's Batman that much, or his Bruce Wayne. But I like Barbara Gordon, I think, so much because I like her reaction to him. Because that's very much how I feel.
She says to him is awesome.
Yeah, that's very much how as a person watching the show, that's very much what I feel like I would want to say to him. Like, you piece of shit, you can't go looking for other kids and all that. And so I think that's why I enjoy, or so far in the first episode, I'm like, I'm down with Barbara cool in my book.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that. I think she's definitely, interesting so far. And then also too, I think let's see, he said Eli said I never thought of that. Yeah, I think overall the dialogue too is just another thing that it suffers from for me. Some of that dialogue
not the new season.
Episode 1 was
once you get into it, it's season 3 is much better written. I'll tell you that right now. Season 3
I love Starfire's monologue to Connor and Beast Boy.
Yeah.
After Jason, everybody finds out Jason or Robin's been killed. And she tells them, I like how they very, everybody clearly realizes that, this was somebody who never learned, and that kind of what she talked about there. I really, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there are a lot of moments I like for sure.
So you can call in now. I just opened it up. So if anyone wants to call in, the number's posted. You can call and it'll ring through, and we'll just bring you in for 10 minutes. I did want to talk about the Black Canary movie. They finally did after a bunch of fan cry for it. They did announce it. And what do you think about that? Her character was really liked a lot, and they're really capitalizing on this whole female-led, I don't want to call it PC. I don't want to call it a PC move, because her character was actually super badass, and I want to see more of it. So,
well, I would really like to see like a Gotham City Sirens, or those types of, or even like, honestly, they could probably do a Birds of Prey 2 and make it a little better, change a couple things. But I do think actually those movies, like those team up movies, were fine. I don't know. I never felt like. I feel like Marvel pushes the PC culture thing more than DC has so far.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand that. But I mean, do you like her casting? Do you like
love her.
Can you hear that?
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Oh, phone call.
What's going on? You're on with the Pop Culture Corner Night Crew.
What's going on?
Oh, it's the movie
Yeah.
dogs.
Oh,
I have returned.
How you been, man? I haven't heard from you in a while.
It's been a long process, just getting myself back healthy and spending time with the family and doing my thing.
Yeah. I can understand that. I've been doing the same thing. Well, I took like a week and kind of like slowed down a lot and just got back to just being who I needed to be. So I could definitely understand that, but we definitely miss having you in the chat, man. You're one of the best viewers or best viewers that we have. So I definitely and I miss your content as well. I know you got a new show or something that you're doing. So maybe you want what did you want to talk about, my friend?
Well, I just heard about obviously the Eternals. I thought that trailer, as you said, was amazing. It was. I wasn't too jazzed originally because I wasn't a big fan of the comic books in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
But this, Academy Award winning director, she's fresh off from winning an Oscar, and I was sold. I was entirely. And I love how they're going to explain why they weren't around or didn't involve themselves. And I love the continuity. That's one thing I love about the MCU. They explain the continuity, and I haven't been too excited about Phase 4. I mean, the stuff has been good, but
no,
I'm getting over that hangover still from the end of the Infinity Saga. So
you know what? that's actually really spot on, I think. Right? After being, it's like almost it's like a drug. Like you're at such a high point with the Infinity Saga that anything after just seems like, how are you going to top that? But and then we get WandaVision, which I mean, we built expectations that were never able to be exceeded. Falcon Winter Soldier was more of
like that.
I'm a.
I'm a kid from part of the last half of the TV generation, and I got all the motifs of what they were doing when it came to the different eras of television, and I enjoyed it for that aspect.
Yes. Yeah. No. I mean, it had its moments. It definitely had its moments. I just think it wasn't out of the 3 series that we've seen so far. It just wasn't my favorite. Falcon Winter Soldier was more of what we know and what we, it was Marvel at its finest. And then Loki really broke the bank on it.
Loki was absolutely. You know what? It was the perfect number of episodes as well.
Yeah.
I could have done with a couple more.
I could have done with a couple more as well.
Yeah.
Well, we were getting spoiled. We really, really were enjoying it. That's why. But I think that's the best thing for Loki is that, you want more. You're left wanting more. And
right.
Tom Hiddleston, he's a magnificent actor, and I think he would have made a great James Bond after Craig had left. So, but I'm liking him in Loki. He can stay with Loki.
Yeah, no. I didn't. Was he in the running for James Bond?
I believe he was, but I think a lot of people are fan casting him right now as the next James Bond. But
yeah, how do you guys feel about the female Bond? Like, how
Love
do
it.
you guys?
Well, I mean, they've given her his number, and obviously it's a number that it also goes to prove that that when it comes to that line of duty and everything, the number moves on.
Right.
Even though you're not there. And, that's, I don't think they're going to do a James Bond female eccentric film. I think they're not going to go the route of Doctor Who. I think that, sadly, that was a great idea that got poorly executed, but
I think
they
are.
A spin-off film would help.
I think they are because they've already set up
a spin-off film with a character. I think.
They've already set up in this.
I mean, try it out and see what happens. I mean, Hobbs and Shaw did okay, I guess. So.
Can you hear Austin?
No, I can't.
Huh.
Testing. What's up?
Oh yeah, so that would make more sense. Okay, so okay, that would be the one issue then. I'm gonna have to relay what Austin's saying.
Right. I mean, I guess you can tell them they already planned in the new James Bond to move on to set up a female 007.
Yeah, well, so I mean, the 007 thing, right, is a mantle that can be achieved, right? So
Yeah.
a female achieving that 007 name tag is really it wouldn't be unheard of, right? She's not,
No.
but her name would not be Bond. I would assume
No.
it would be something else. I'm actually just starting those movies, so.
I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, I would, if it was up to me, I would backtrack and go and make the next Bond film, series of films, more of, still diverse, but, go back into a period piece, back into the era of the Cold War when those books was originally written. And, and still have the daring attributes to diversify still, but capture that Cold War spirit, which I think was with the heart of the James Bond movies to begin with. But I do think that, and it's always going to be hard to always pick and choose which actor to play James Bond. It's just they have to put their own staple and their own likeness into that character and make it their own. And Daniel Craig, him and Sean Connery were, one of a kind, and and they've got their staples. Because when you think of James Bond, you're going to think of Sean Connery, and now you're going to think of Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I definitely agree. What do you think about before we let you go? What do you think about Henry Cavill being the next Bond?
He almost was 10 years ago or 16 years ago. He almost was.
Right. Well, do you think? I mean, there's such a high demand for Henry Cavill right now. Do you think that?
I would give it a shot. I mean, it's not past the normalcy or the possibility.
Right.
I would say, hey, give it a shot. And I mean, there's always room. And if not, hey, go back to the drawing board and say, well, that didn't work. And I'm sure he'll get a cult classic following like everything else.
Benson's commented and said Jeff Bezos will milk the Bond franchise dry, and that is absolutely 100% true. He will. He sure will.
I don't know. Barbara Machete came out.
You know what? That's got to be the quote of the day.
Yeah. How else do you think he's going to space, guys? Come on, let's get real. Right? Come on.
Well, Barbara Machete did come out today and said he's not touching. Amazon's not touching Bond.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, Amazon's not touching Bond?
Nope.
Oh yeah, they will. I mean, they own it. They're going to touch it. They're going to.
So
they own MGM.
Austin's saying that. What's her name? Barbara. What'd you say?
Barbara Broccoli. Yeah.
Yeah.
They own the movie rights, but MGM owns the distribution rights and kind of co-share ownership with Bond in a way.
Yeah.
Like they, because they used to, they bought United Artists back in the 80s, so that was the original distributor. So but yeah, I do think that I feel like I mean, it's a good place for Bond to be at. I think is at with Amazon, and it. I mean, I didn't like the way Sony was dealing with it and everything. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with you there because I think Amazon has so much potential right now. They just I haven't really like their original content right now is really flourishing and it's exciting and it's new. And I mean, you look at this Lord of the Rings franchise that they spent this enormous amount of money on. Then we got The Boys and Invincible. Like Amazon, right? Like it's like, hey, all right, do your thing, boo. Until you prove me wrong, go ahead. Right?
I mean, it felt like watching Netflix shows back about 10 years ago.
Yeah, agreed.
That's how it feels like.
Yeah.
So.
Hey man, thank you so much for calling. I really, 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 really can't stress this enough. We do miss you, and we hope all is well with you and the family. You're always welcome at the Pop Culture Corner, my friend.
Thank you.
We do it for you.
Hey, Thank you, and I appreciate it a lot, guys. You take care.
Austin says bye as well.
Bye. You take care, Austin.
Bye.
Right, man.
Take it easy. Peace
I
out,
know
bro.
you can't. Bye.
So I guess that's one downfall. I didn't realize because when he was talking over you, I was like, I don't
Right, and
think
he
he could
stopped,
hear
yeah.
Austin. So okay,
Yep.
so hey, this is a test run, guys. As you can clearly see.
But
so if
before we
you're
move
calling
on,
in, maybe you should be
Yes.
watching the show as well.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe.
Or yeah,
If
just
that's
turn us down a
possible.
little bit, I guess.
Yeah, turn it down so it's
Just
not
turn
like a
us down.
double.
And when I speak, I'll tell you to turn it up and turn it back down after I'm done. It'll be great. But I did want to share this real quick. Yeah, perfect. So this was literally a day ago. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Because obviously that's what everybody's thinking, right? Amazon's going to take over the franchise, do shows and all this. And Barbara said, nope.
Oh, you already did it.
Yep. Barbara
Okay, so
said, nope, not
hold on. Please go back to her name.
Hold on.
What is her name?
Barbara. Stop. No. This is like the episode of The Office. You know, where he's like, what's your name? Bill Buttlicker. Bill Buttlicker.
Broccoli. Barbara Broccoli. What's up, man?
I'm like
God.
Michael
All right,
from
you
The
can move
Office.
on from here. What a great name. What a fantastic name. I love this.
You've seen The Office, right?
So yes.
Remember
Maybe
Bill
you can
Buttlicker?
read this for us.
Yes. All right. So while Daniel Craig's tenure as James Bond is coming to an end, the one thing that is not going to change is Bond being a cinematic experience. While many bigger movie properties, such as Star Wars, have been seen to make a move to capture a portion of the booming streaming market, Barbara Broccoli has made it clear that even with Amazon, stop it, you son of a, God damn it.
I like how her name's highlighted and everything. All right, I'm sorry.
God.
Okay, keep going.
Has made it clear that even with Amazon's MGM buyout, making Bond a prime option for a transition to TV, there will be no Bond TV shows or spin-offs anytime in the near future. As the franchise approaches its 60th anniversary, it will be business as usual when Bond next returns to the big screen after No Time to Die. Speaking in an interview with Total Film, Barbara Broccoli said, "We make films. We make films for the cinema. That's what we do." The sentiment was echoed by fellow producer Michael B. Wilson, who followed up by adding, "We've resisted the call for 60 years." So,
Wow.
yeah, so obviously it's not like this is the first time they've been offered a Bond TV show or Bond spin-offs or whatever, and they've consistently said no. So there had to be something in that MGM deal when they sold MGM that it was like, they still hold the rights to Bond somehow, the Broccolis.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I guess that is good news, right? Is that they won't overdo it, but they'll keep it a cinematic experience, because that's exactly what you want to hear. Is
correct.
You want to hear that, because for instance, what they're doing with the John Wick series, they're really gonna milk it. They're making like the spin-off show for the hotel, whatever it was called. I can't remember right now. All I keep thinking of is that other movie, the Artemis, whatever. But they're doing that, and they're really gonna milk that John Wick series for what it's worth. I'm glad that they're not gonna do that with James Bond, even though I'm not an avid James Bond viewer. I'm going to be. I'm starting. I promise. I'm actually right now. I just started Superman and Lois. I need to tell you guys this. It's actually good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But then I heard it goes downhill, so you got to finish it and then tell me what you think.
I'm only on episode 1, so
right.
So hey,
I think it's finished now. I think
all of them are on CW. That's why I'm starting it now, so I can binge it. Maybe you can bring up so the Dave Bautista thing. He's in talks with joining the DCEU. Apparently, I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Let me see. Let me pull up. I did hear about this, I think. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how he feels about this. I feel like
Dave seems like he just wants so Dave Bautista's. I literally just saw a commercial for Disney Plus with Dave Bautista in it.
Yep.
So and he's like an old guy. He's like white hair, long white hair, and he's a boat. And he's like, yeah, get the Disney Plus bundle for Hulu and Disney and $13.99. And I'm like, all right. So he's really like pushing himself, and he seems to be.
Oh.
He wants to be like The Rock. Like he wants to be in everything, and that's okay. I understand. But
yeah, he does. Trust me, he does not want to join the DC universe. What you heard is a flat rumor and lie because I just saw where it's from.
So I saw an article about him being, and it came across. I can't remember where it came from, but it was something about him being in talks with DC. And
we got this covered, and nope.
So
I mean, just look at that. Doesn't even sound like Bautista right now. When you look at his track record and what he's been, the dude isn't looking for more, like those types of roles. He wants to be an actor and expand on. Look what he's doing. He's doing Doom. He's doing, all of these other things. He's probably going to be done with Marvel after Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I mean, so I really don't see him like even wanting to do something like that. You know what I mean? He did mention that he does want to make like a Lethal Weapon type film with Jason Momoa, and I was like, yeah,
dude, he's
yes.
Dave's gonna be. So I think I'm like. Yeah, okay. I think I'm like the only C fan.
I haven't seen it, but I'm going to.
Dude, it is.
I plan on it.
So good, and I am so surprised that this series hasn't been talked about more. Because it's like weird, like when you talk about it, C, it's literally called C, SEE.
Yeah.
And it stars Jason Momoa in a futuristic apocalyptic world where all humans have lost sight. Right.
Yeah.
And there's only like the highest of high. We see the whole thing. There's a whole storyline, but it is such a great show. And Dave Bautista is joining season 2 of it. And
Momoa's brother.
Yes. And it is, I am so excited to see them work together. Maybe Caiden, could you bring up the trailer for season 2? Because I actually haven't watched it yet. So I just saw it in passing. So I would love to watch that. And Movie Dogs, man, much love to you as well. Always great to see you, man. Great to hear from you. Much love. Miss you, man.
But Momoa and Bautista, I feel like, are similar in that they're both looking to get away from these roles that are like the typical typecast, big guy, mean, villain, strong. Like they want to play and do other things, and so very much like Benson. Oh, I love Gunpowder
Milkshake. Why is that sound?
It's already on my list. One of my favorite.
Is that the one with the guy and he's like it's similar to John Wick? Because like he says,
it is similar. It's similar to John Wick in that it's females.
Oh, I know what the movie is. Oh, okay.
It was on Netflix.
Okay. Yeah,
but it is a different story. It is a different. I really enjoy it. I really, really loved it. It's the girl who plays Nebula.
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan, yes, and Angela Bassett, Paul Giamatti's in there. It's great. Huh.
Interesting.
Great film.
All right, so full screen this and let's watch. I guess we'll be reacting to season 2 of C. By the way, if you haven't watched it, it's on Apple TV Plus. You can also catch The Morning Show on Apple TV Plus. And yes, we are not sponsored by Apple TV Plus, but I would love to be. So call me if you want. All right, let's check this out. Did you share the audio, Caiden? Yeah, I do it all the time. It's okay. We all do it. I do it almost every day, actually. Yeah, it's tough. There we go. Ooh.
The mighty Baba Voss. A fear in a world without sight. Everyone close to you always ends up suffering. Now it's your turn, brother.
Oh, he's gonna be the bad guy?
I swore I would never return here, but Hito took my daughter.
She would never say where she came from.
I need to find out where he's hiding her.
Yesterday don't matter.
No way.
It's now.
What do you see?
A shift in the world. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday.
We are chosen to usher in a new world.
She sucks. I hate
I
that
carry
lady.
within me a child born with God's gift of vision.
She's from Blade Runner.
She's
will
the
return.
villain. She was the villain.
First
of
nation to
season
harness
1.
its powers will dominate the world.
Dude, he looks so badass.
The greatest military force.
This looks amazing.
I'm telling you, the series is absolutely amazing.
If we walk away, thousands of people will die.
I know this enemy. I was this enemy. They fight to enslave. We fight for freedom. I say we open our gate right now.
Yes, open it.
And welcome them to hell.
There are weapons more powerful than swords. They hold the key to our future.
Oh my
Welcome
god.
home, Baba.
Dude, I'm in love.
Oh, cool. In a couple weeks. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so, dude. I am, and TY's TV Corner is coming back for season 2. We're gonna be doing watch parties for every episode because I know a lot of people don't have Apple TV Plus. So I'll watch it with you guys because it's included in my phone plan. So, dude, it's hands down like it's up there with Game of Thrones quality. Like the cinematic feeling of this show is unreal because
it looks amazing.
There's sequences in the first season, and you got to think they can't see, so they're hearing, right? So it's all hearing based, and the way they film it
reminds me very much of like a Book of Eli.
Yes,
in the winter.
But the difference between is in the Book of Eli, you don't know that he's blind until the end.
Right.
Like in this, they make it very known.
Yeah.
And that woman, and Alfre Woodard is amazing in it. She is so good, and I really, she's awesome. Jason Momoa steals the show. He really gets to shine in his kind of environment. You know, his environment, like that, like that animalistic kind of character that he plays. He thrives in that role, and he kills it. Really does. He kills it in that role.
I love him. I can't wait, you know, like for him in Dune and all that. I mean, I think he's great. I wanted to see the show, and Apple produces some great shows. I mean, I love the morning show. Morning show was phenomenal.
The morning show is surprisingly good.
Oh,
like,
it was.
Like I was on the edge of my seat and I binged it in one day because I could not stop watching it.
It
was and it's not actiony. It's about it's about a morning show host who gets found out about.
It's a take on what happened with Good Morning America and Matt Lauer, and it's great.
Yeah, and it's really, really good.
And Steve Carell is Matt Lauer, and it's even better.
It makes it, and it's, oh my god, it's so good. I can't.
But that's the thing. I love how they play it. I love how Steve plays it. Like, you know,
Homeboy turned down being Flash's dad to go do morning show season 2. That's how good it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it might have
Love
been a contract thing, but I mean, regardless, he's going to do season 2, and I forget his name.
Billy
he
Crudup?
was Billy Crudup. He's fantastic in the morning show. Fantastic. And it just goes to show you his range of acting. His ability of acting is it's on a spectrum compared to,
It's Jennifer Aniston for me.
Woo!
Her in that show. Oh,
she's very good in that as well. You know what else? I'm really in like a trailery mood. I know there's a new
Bring Up
TV
the Morning
spot.
Show teaser trailer 2 or trailer for season 2.
Wait, there's a trailer for Morning season 2?
You didn't know that? Oh boy.
No, let's get
Caiden?
it up. Get it up.
This is what I meant earlier. So you were talking about you watched 20 minutes of Nomadland, and I was like, oh, it's like Prakash watched 20 minutes of the Suicide Squad, and then said it was bad.
Wait, Prakash didn't like the Suicide Squad?
Dude, he hasn't even watched it. He's watched clips and says it's not good.
I told him I said I would stream it for him, specifically for him.
Uninterested because I don't know why.
I know why. That's okay though. Everyone has their right to be, or their right to do whatever they want.
Right.
I just think that we need to support. We'll get into that after. Actually, right now I'm really on this morning show really thing.
Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, official season 2 teaser. Here we go.
All right, hit it, baby.
We should just tell the truth quickly. They're going to cut us off.
There are some really bad things going on here.
There he is.
We cannot accept a culture of silence.
We have some breaking news right now. Moments ago, UBA's national feed abruptly cut to a test pattern.
We have to stay together on this.
All the attention is going to land on me.
Careful what you wish for, right?
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
Let me make this simple. We have to get Alex back.
She publicly left the show.
New York, New York.
I don't want to. I'm not coming back.
They hurt me. This is about them doing things behind my back.
It's all gonna work out.
Don't tell me it's gonna work out.
There is a cost to success and fame.
You're a dead man, said the corpse.
There will always be a part of me that wants to be liked. I never wanted to be this person.
Things are supposed to get better.
Everything changed in a minute. The whole world changed. I thought we were a team.
Honestly, Bradley, a friendship with you seems like a bountiful journey.
If I can.
You talked to Mitch. Did he tell you that?
People deserve to know the truth.
Nobody likes the gossip.
There's been a lot written about the morning show and a lust for ratings that made even the worst behavior permissible. Do you feel that the important issues have been addressed?
It's up to you, New York, New York.
I like Juliana.
What's going on? You're on with the Pop Culture Corner Nightly Crew. We just watched who is this? Oh, it's Saggy Melons. I can.
I can't hear them. You didn't add them to the stream. There you
go. Okay. Now we can hear. Saggy, can you hear us?
Is this Papa Gino's? I want to order a large cheese pizza.
Oh my God. Does anyone else even know about Papa Gino's?
Does Papa Gino's even exist?
Does that even exist for anyone besides us?
No, this does not exist. How are you? I saw the number. I was like, I'm gonna call.
Yeah, get it. The only thing that sucks is that Austin, like, you can't hear Austin. So you have to so if you're calling, you have to watch the show as well so you can hear Austin. It's kind of weird.
Just gauge the reaction, right?
Yes. So you just gauge it. But how you doing, Saggy? Listen, I had to take a week off. Not a week off, but I had to get my mind right. I was doing too much, but we got to get the bubble tea going, and we got to get that happening.
It'll happen. It'll be a legendary moment. Legendary.
Hey, what do you think about this Black Canary thing?
They have a Black Canary thing now? What the heck?
Oh, you didn't even know. There's a Black Canary movie happening. Yeah.
Why?
Because Smollett killed it in Birds of Prey. That's why.
Oh, is it her movie? She's
Yes, it's her movie.
Oh no! Can we not?
Austin's laughing, by the way.
I can see him. I'm watching.
Oh, okay, all right. So I don't have to. Do that.
She said, "Oh no."
Okay, but Blue Beetle deserves a movie, but Black Canary can't get one.
We haven't seen Blue Beetle on the big screen. We've seen we barely seen Blue Beetle. We've seen Black Canary like how many times?
All right. Well, if you're counting the Arrowverse, I get it. And the Arrowverse, there's like 19 Black Canaries that show up throughout the whole thing. And then yes, okay, I do get where you're coming from. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, Saggy. I don't care for it either. I really don't. It's not something I'm like super hyped about.
Yeah, it sounds dumb. When you told me that, I was like, what? Like, that's probably why I didn't even hear about it. It's not even a big deal.
yeah, exactly. I honestly, I didn't even think it was true. But anyway, have you seen? We just watched 2 trailers for the morning show and C. Have you seen either of those shows on Apple TV?
What is it?
Yeah, so you have not.
No.
See, that's what I'm talking about, though. No one knows about these shows, and it's there. You guys are missing gold. Like really, like you're missing out on these. The Apple TV only has 2 shows that are worth watching right now. One of them is the morning show. The other one is C with Jason Momoa, and they are. Like, I'm telling you, they're 2 of the best TV shows out there. And no one knows about them because no one knows Apple TV has or Apple TV exists. They don't do a good job marketing it, is I think the issue.
Oh, no, that's 100% the issue because I didn't even know, like you said, I didn't even know Apple TV was a real thing. And yeah, the marketing for that seems to be lacking if nobody knows about this.
You're not lying. Like Apple TV, I think people think is the thing that you buy. You know what I mean? That little thing, like the Apple TV is literally a box. It actually looks like my computer thing. But yeah. But anyway, what did you want to talk about today, Saggy?
I mean, originally I was just trying to order pizza, and I got you guys instead, which is better than pizza, by the way. So I mean, I can live with that. And watching Austin laugh and not being able to hear him is also hilarious. So. But yeah, no, I saw you were back, and I was like, "Hi's back," and I had to say hello, and I saw Colin, and I was like, "Oh, there's a number. Let me call this number. That's cool."
There's a number that you can call. By the way, you guys can, if you ever want to, you can call the line after so we're gonna start doing these shows more often, and then, however, after the show ends, I'm gonna put Do Not Disturb on. But you can still call and leave a voicemail, and then next time we do a show like this, I'll play the voicemail as if it were.
Oh, I'm gonna leave so many weird voicemails.
You should not have told me that.
Yeah,
you should not have told me that.
You can, but that's something you can totally do, and you can also send messages to it as well. It forwards it to my phone, so everything will be showcased on the show. So it'll be a really good time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave some very cringy messages.
Shout out to Matt Jarbo for the suggestion, because we originally, when we tried to do these call-in shows, we couldn't figure out how to do it, and I never realized sharing your screen on StreamYard and sharing the audio via Google Voice, that's how you can do it. You can make it work like that. And I was like, oh my God, you're brilliant. And then Matt Jarbo was like, no, I'm not. I just know how to use Google. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, but if he knows how to use Google, why isn't his stuff? Did you not see when he did his little voicemail show? You could barely hear the people. Can everyone even hear me?
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you great.
Yeah, ours is better. Ours, we're just, you know why? Because we pay for the top StreamYard, so we get the top quality stuff here.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Jarbo needs to make more money, is what you're saying.
That's basically what I'm saying. Jarbo makes a ton of money on. I wish that we had people, the audience that I'm trying to steal his audience, honestly. That's why I go on a show all the time.
I mean, you know, if you just have Austin shave, you know, clean cut, and get a nice pretty wig and a little eyeliner, I think you guys can really make a lot of money.
Hey, listen, OnlyFans is going down, Saggy. So how are you going to make money now?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You weren't really there on the panel with that talk. How do you feel about that? I know it's a little off topic, but like,
yeah, no, nothing's off topic here. This is Pop Culture Corner.
Yeah, Saggy gave her opinions yesterday on our panel, or on Wednesday.
Listen, I think that it is so can someone explain to me why it's being shut down first?
So from my understanding, and Austin can correct me. I know Austin, I don't know if you're talking, but Austin might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe their whole thing is that being in the pornographic business wasn't good for the banks and investments. So they weren't really generating new investors because pornography wasn't like, because a lot of people are kind of embarrassed about their degeneracy. So they don't want to really have their name attached to some kind of, to porno. So it was kind of bad for business in their eyes.
Yet Pornhub makes billions of dollars per year.
Right, but Pornhub is also more anonymous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I gotta agree with you there. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Pornhub's my go-to, right? I mean, it's
mine too. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, it's my go-to. OnlyFans is weird because like anyone can. It's weird. It really is. It is a strange thing, but there are like people that are going to lose a lot of money, and they're gonna lose their quote. I'm using air quotes right now, but I'm smoking a cigarette, so I can't be on screen. I'm using air quotes. They're losing their income, and I don't think their revenue source. They've built a platform on this site, and now they're having it taken away. Like, that would be like if YouTube just got shut down. So, for these people that literally make their living on OnlyFans, like, what's gonna happen? I just, that sucks.
So I think that's why they're really doing it.
The thing is anyone who is smart enough and has the funds could definitely, capitalize on this, because I even said to Austin, and when I was here the other night with the other lovely guys, I was like, dude, if anyone knows how to make a program or a website or something similar to OnlyFans, they would make so much money first year, because those are all those women, men that are using that platform that are going to be losing money. They're going to want to jump on something that's going to get them money and keep their cash flow. So if somebody was smart, they would do it now and provide another service that's like OnlyFans. Then they would just make bank. Like, you guys could do it.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly, hey, listen, I'm gonna be super transparent here. I wouldn't do OnlyFans the way that the girls do it. Like, if I were to do it, it would be in a different way. It'd be different.
What?
Yeah, I would do like pictures of my feet or something and try to make millions of dollars.
They already have those there on OnlyFans, though.
What?
They already have that stuff on OnlyFans.
No, I know, but it'd be my feet.
I'm going for the full thing on my OnlyFans. I'm going full naked body. You get the whole party. Come join. You got a month left.
I think I would make more money with my feet than your body would.
You think you would make more money with your feet than my body?
No, I'm talking. No. I'm talking about not you. Not you. I was talking to Austin, but I could see how this happened.
Oh my God.
This is great. Well, I think I broke Austin. Way to go.
So I think the challenge has been made. So my feet are up against Saggy's body on OnlyFans. A 1 month challenge to see who makes more money.
I'm coming in. I'm swooping both of you. I'm going. I'm gonna take.
I wish I could hear Austin. Wait, you got to figure out how you could have the panel be heard.
Jarbo literally said that there's no way to do it.
There has to be a way. There's always a way.
I was kind of hoping there would be. Like I said, I'm trying to. This is like literally a test. This is the first time we've ever done it. So I really like. I'm like kind of winging it. Let me see if I can.
Whoa! Hi. This may be a little too.
What's my show size? My show size, we have like 1.59 thousand subscribers.
Shoe size.
Oh.
Yeah, easy. I think they're trying to calculate some things there. I think.
I have a 9.5 shoe.
Hey.
Well, you know what they say about big feet, guys.
Yes.
Custom shoes. You gotta go. It's a whole thing, and you gotta go get custom shoes made.
No, but Saggy, your channel's been doing well. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, I'm doing my thing, and I love you guys. So, and I wanted to call in. Who else? Has anyone else called in?
Yes. The movie dogs called before you. We're kind of just, like I said, we're testing it out. We just threw it up, and like we're having our conversation, and then if anyone wants to call and talk with us, they can do that. Or if they just want to comment, they can do that. I really, we can just, however you want to do it. But we want to have all options available, and have the conversations about these things that we love. And I know that there's a lot going on right now, in the world of pop culture. So I mean, that's what we're doing, right? We're talking about pop culture. One more thing I actually want to get your opinion on, because you're a female. What do you think about this whole Britney Spears deal?
What happened now? Because I was following that, but then I kind of slowed down. But like, is there something new happen?
Well, if you watch Jiving with Jack, I watch Jiving with Jack, and that's where I get my Britney Spears news. So apparently Britney is trying to get her freedom back, and she has a upcoming trial.
Britney's free.
What?
Yeah, didn't you? No,
Britney's free?
Britney's free. Yeah, we covered it on Driving with Jack. I thought you said you watched.
Last I heard, her father finally walked away from the conservatorship, but I think that there's still something pending. I don't know who. There was more than one person part of the conservatorship. I know that the biggest issue was her father. Her father was
he gone,
primary, I guess, or whatever. But I know for a fact that he stepped down. But I think that she still has to fight to get out of whatever was set up for that.
Okay. So apparently I didn't. You are right. I have not watched the latest episode of Driving with Jack. Mm-hmm. So I did miss that. Okay. So I thought I was under the impression that she still was in the pursuit of said conservatorship being done.
I think she is
in pursuit of that. But so when she came out, and because a lot of people didn't know that she was in conservatorship, and then when people found out, there was this whole question why. Because remember when she had her public freak out, so everyone kind of agreed that she needed to be in conservatorship because she was kind of acting a little crazy.
Yes.
However, there's a lot of speculation that there was the reason why that happened wasn't really just because she was crazy. She was just in a very bad place, and that's what kind of drove her to have that shaving the head and all those pictures from back in the day. Now, fast forward is she's been in this conservatorship for way too long. She is way too old to be still in a conservatorship. Conservatorships aren't meant to be permanent, and it seems like it's been permanent for her. And then when she came out talking about how she wants to get out of it, her mistreatment, how she has no say in anything in her life, everyone was looking at her whoa, dude, you're in your 30s, you need to be able to live your life. And that's when she was talking about her father and how he was mistreating her. Once that came out, the people who were tied to her conservatorship, some of them have stepped down when they realized this was absolutely ruining her life and causing a lot more mental anguish. So they stepped down. Her father was probably still holding on, but I think the pressure of the community, the fans, all this stuff, everyone kind of saying, dude, you need to just drop this, let her live her life. And he recently was just announced. I think I saw it last week that he recently stepped down as being, the guardian of her conservatorship. But I think she still needs to fight a little bit
There's
more
still legal
to kind of
things.
make sure that there's nothing legally that can
bind
screw
her
over.
to this thing.
Right.
That's really
So-
good. I'm very happy. And I really do think that the public, the community the community helped her on this one because people, if it's aware, it's all about awareness. And I don't think people were aware of the situation. Then when they became aware of the situation, they're like, wait, what? Like I've been saying this for a while now. Any sane person who looks at that knows that that's not right. And that is bona fide slavery if I've ever seen it.
It is. It is 100%. She couldn't even she has children. She couldn't even go provide food or clothes or take care of her children without permission to take care of her children. That's what I'm saying. Like nobody knew what a conservatorship really was, other than it's taking control over somebody who needs help, that they need somebody to help them. But again, conservatorships aren't meant to last as long as these actors' conservatorships last. She's not the only one. Amanda Bynes is also still fighting her conservatorship.
Amanda Bynes is on one too?
Yes, Amanda Bynes has been in a conservatorship for a long time too. So she's also another one who's fighting her conservatorship. People are trying to bring awareness to that, and it's really sad that these are grown adults who are trapped and they can't do anything because at the time they're talked into signing paperwork because yes, I'm incapable of handling myself and taking care of myself. They are talked into it, manipulated, and it's by their own parents. That's even sicker, that their own parents are manipulating them and convincing them that yes, you are not capable of making adult choices as an adult when we need to do it for you. And Amanda Bynes and Britney Spears have both been subjected to conservatorships. Amanda Bynes is still fighting hers. She still has a long battle to go, but Britney's is slowly lifting.
Wow. Listen, I had a huge crush on Amanda Bynes especially when she was in the soccer movie.
Oh yeah,
She's all that or whatever.
She's the man or something like that.
Well, Amanda Bynes is a little tapped. I will say that. But
she built a career on that. I mean, the Amanda Bynes show, whatever it was called, I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, the Amanda Bynes show. Yeah.
Was it literally called the Amanda Bynes show?
No, it's called the Amanda Show.
The Amanda Show, yeah.
The Amanda
she literally
Show,
built a platform on being a little out there. But I did not know that she was on the same thing that Britney was on. So now, I guess now we'll have to switch over and we'll have to hashtag free Amanda Bynes.
Well, I would hope that Britney Spears would kind of help, because I know that I'm pretty sure that Hollywood always talks, so I know that they're all aware of these things. So I would hope that once Britney is done with hers, she would kind of help out Amanda Bynes, because like I said, Amanda Bynes might be a little tapped, but she's still a grown woman, and at this point, if she's crazy, I don't think she's a danger to herself. And
right.
Neither Britney. Britney was never a danger to herself or her children. Her parents, her family made her crazy.
Yeah. Oftentimes that's the case. That's the case.
Yeah, but you go because it's hard for Austin to do Austin and talk with him. So, but thank you for answering my call.
Anytime.
And all of you 13 people watching, give the number a call. Get in on this action. These are great content creators, and they're amazing people. And give them a call. Have a conversation.
Yeah, let's have a conversation. Saggy, as always, thank you for calling, and as always, thank you for being a part of the community. And like I said, we'll have to get together with the gross bubble tea.
Yes, we will get together. I love you, Austin. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so I did want to share, so it is 100% official that the Hollywood Reporter has now reported that, I'm going to share it here.
There we go.
So let's take a look.
There we go. There we go. Let's see. About 4:30. All right, guys. Now it's a stream that anything can happen because it's frozen margarita time. Friday frozen margarita time.
Wait, why is it sharing the wrong thing?
Hey. Thank you, Shaggy. Thank you. Much appreciated. This first.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. To Benson's.
Yes,
to
Benson as well.
Benson's and Saggy. Thank you guys for becoming members of the show today.
That's right.
You guys are truly, and a shout out to everyone who's a member. I think now we're at 16 members. And in only 1 month, we've gained 16 members in a month. So thank you all for your contributions. You guys are truly the lifeblood of the Pop Culture Corner, and you're what really like makes this worth doing. I know like certain shows at certain times, not everyone can be at every single one, but we really do love your input, every single one of you. And you know, this is a place where you can come and speak your mind, but just be respectful of others. And we'll talk about all the things that we love. And I really do kind of want to talk about this actually, because so this Birds of Prey spinoff is something that's in the works with Misha Green and is it how do you say Journey Smollett? Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, so as we can see here, am I moving it?
Nope.
Am I moving it now?
Yep.
Okay.
Shout out Saggy Benson. It's for you. First other bite. Margarita for being members. Thank you guys. Anybody else want to join a member? I'll do massive bites. We'll see how tipsy we can get me before the stream ends.
All right, so here it is. So the project, which is in early development at HBO Max, is a spinoff from Warner Brothers' 2020 DC movie Birds of Prey, which featured characters Harley Quinn, the Huntress, and Cassandra Cain. Also in the cast of heroes or heroines, right? Heroinesses.
That's the word.
Was Canary, played by Smollett. Green will write the script for the feature, with Smollett due to reprise her role. Sir Kroll, who produced Prey, will produce Canary. Prey was not a strong performer at the box office. It grossed only $201.8 million worldwide when released in February, but did generate fan interest and had actors who were game to play. No take on the story was revealed. However, Canary is one of DC's long-standing characters, having been created in the late 1940s. Since the 1960s, she has been associated mostly with Green Arrow and is known for her ear-splitting canary cry. Canary now joins a growing stable of HBO Max movies centered on DC characters such as Batgirl and Saggy's Blue Beetle, as well as a series focused on a Black Superman. Green became one of the hottest creators in town thanks to Lovecraft, which became a buzzy and envelope-pushing series for HBO. When a second season was nixed, Green found plenty of other work, including The Mother, an action thriller starring Jennifer Lopez, now in pre-production at Netflix, and significantly a Tomb Raider movie that nobody needed, a movie project that she will write on, and which she make her feature directorial debut. Say that 9 times fast. Guys, what I really want to know is, do we need this?
Why not? I mean, that's such a weird question to ask at this point for comic books. Like, I guess because I do understand that question, because I asked that question for Star Wars when they released Solo. I was like, we don't need this. But with comic books, man, with comic book films, I feel like technically you don't need any of it, you know. But there's so much that it's like.
But okay,
why not?
Here's the why not.
Okay.
I want to see Green Arrow in the DCEU, and then we can introduce Black Canary. Why do we have a Black Canary and not a Green Arrow or a Green
What
Lantern?
if they bring Green Arrow in through Black Canary?
Then I'm game. However, I don't like how they're doing all these characters, but we don't even have our Justice League assembled correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I think that's just something like
we can't do Shang-Chi unless we have the Avengers, right?
Look, dude, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I mean, like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, you're right. I agree. Like, we don't have a solidified Justice League. We don't have, and I would love for that to be definitely done first. And so it's just. It's not like they're going to stop. It's not like DC's going to stop, reboot the whole thing, and try again. They're going to keep chugging along and stuff. And I mean, I'm the type of person that, look, if it looks good, and it's a superhero thing, I'll watch it because I love comics and I love superheroes, but
hey, whatever, man. That's all I'm saying is I think we need to, for the DCEU, I think we need to establish, because there's so much, like with Marvel, and I feel like I've said this a million times. I feel like it's almost ad nauseum at this point. But what Marvel has done correct is establish a world where we know exactly who's who, what's what, where we're going, and the ride that we're taking. We might not know like what's going to happen in each film or necessarily, but we know the direction that we're going. With DC, we're getting all these projects like, okay, this one's announced, this one's dead, this one's announced, this one's in the works at HBO Max, this one's getting here. Yet we don't know if our Superman is Henry Cavill anymore. We don't know what's happening after the Flash. Like, we don't know who the Justice League are at this point. And yet we're getting movies like Blue Beetle and then Batgirl. And I'm not saying we don't need them. I'm saying I think we need to establish our main team and then start working outwards. And I don't feel that DC has done a good job of that.
I agree.
And I, you know what I mean? If anyone wants to counter me on it, then feel free to.
I don't think there is no counter argument. It's just, I mean, the people at DC don't care.
Yeah,
and they're the ones that are.
It's suffering. It really is. It's honestly, it's kind of cringy, almost, because
you're 100% right. Like, nobody is stating that. It's just for some god unknown reason the suits at WB like money, but they don't like money that much apparently.
Yeah. Like, even for instance, look at like the Eternals, right? The Eternals movie, and then Shang-Chi, right? Look at those two movies. Those two movies are the start of Phase 4 for, like, well, not the start of Phase 4, but cinematically they are.
I would say they are.
Like with Black Widow, I guess, you know what I mean? But I don't know technically, because not really. It was technically the start of Phase 4 cinematically, but not in the timeline. You know what I mean? You get it. You're a comic book movie fan. You understand what I'm saying? But Shang-Chi and Eternals, they're new, and they're stories that are being told because we've established a world in which the Avengers have already done their job. We know exactly who they are. We've had mantles passed on. We've grown attached to characters. We've loved them. We've seen their stories unfold and grown together with them over several years. With DC, it's more like, all right, well, we need Batman in as many projects as we can get him in. And it doesn't matter who's playing him, but he needs to be there, right? And then we need a Superman of every color. and I just started Superman and Lois. And what I do like about the multiverse thing, the DC multiverse, is yes, you can have your cake and eat it too. Tyler Hoechlin as Superman does not convince me. He's not as convincing as like him in the suit. He looks good, but when he's out of suit, you can tell that the suit is padded because he's so much skinnier in person. The show is actually intriguing. Like I watched the pilot and I'm interested. I very much am interested. However, he's just like, he's not my Superman. Henry Cavill's my Superman, and I want to know what's happening with my Superman. And I mean, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? How do you think we could make the DCEU work? How do you think we could shape it now? Like, what can we do now to make it work? Maybe Caiden can come in for this one as well.
To make it work. In its current state. I mean, there's a lot of different options. It's just somebody needs, to sit down and literally think about what DC wants to be for the next 5 or 10 years. That's the thing, is they can't decide what they want to be. They can't decide if they want to be Marvel or if they want to go like the dark, gritty, like New 52 comic route and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want, and they keep freaking out with each film's audience reaction and going based off of that instead of just letting the universe build itself out. Iron Man 2 was not that good. Thor: The Dark World wasn't that good. All these movies that had, it took a minute before Marvel got to, all their films being critically acclaimed and all that crap. Like,
yeah.
So that's I mean, somebody needs to sit down, think about it, and then they need to make some executive decisions. Like, this is the direction we're headed, and plan around that. I mean, I do think it's really dumb to not be using the bigger IPs like Superman and Green Lantern, and having all of these other small, like Black Canary and Blue Beetle and all these other, like, you're right, they should be focusing more on the bigger stuff first, because you look at Marvel again too. And that's not to say like this strategy would be copying Marvel, but it just makes sense, right? Marvel got themselves known based off what? Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. They got their big IPs out of the way, and then now we're talking about Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel and all of these kind of smaller IPs. Obviously, they took a gamble with Guardians in the middle of it, right? And they struck gold with that. But for the main part, like, people need to feel comfortable with the established universe and stuff before we go to like Black Canary series and movies and Blue Beetle series and movies and all these smaller, not necessarily smaller, but I would say lesser known among the general audience, like besides comic fans, before we start focusing on them.
Yeah. Caiden, what do you think? I can already tell you're a robot. Come back in. Yep, you know what to do. No, and Benson's, when Marvel started, they did choose Iron Man. You're right. They chose Iron Man and they built the universe around him.
Yeah.
However, and what your HBO Max point about them needing content and how this is business. Of course, this is business. Of course, at the end of the day, this is all about the money. However, like what we're saying, I think you're going a different way with it. We're saying, to like ensure continuity wise, like establishing our main characters and doing the content the way that like I don't know how to explain it the right way. Like making sure that we know who the Justice League is, and then get the main IPs, like Austin said, get them correct before you start making these riskier, more obscure projects, one-offs come out. It seems weird to me that we don't have a Green Lantern yet we're getting a Batgirl movie.
Right.
All jumbled to me.
Yeah, I agree. And you asked how it would fix the current state. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I'd start it all over. I would start it
Really?
all
You would?
over. But you know what I would do? You know what I would do? I'd keep all the same actors.
See, how would you do? Yeah, you could do. Yeah, honestly, you could
I
do
would
like a Days
propose.
of Future Past thing.
I would propose like a whole new start like this. But see, that's the thing. I would propose that if I'm gonna go for those same actors, I would say, look, I am going to keep the kind of grittiness and the gods among men tone of Snyder, right? And that's why I'm saying that would have to be an executive decision of like, that's our theme for the next 5 years. That's what we're going to focus on, this, gods versus man thing and all that. So I would keep that. I would just do all new stories. So I'd have Henry Cavill do Superman again, but do basically like I already have it planned out. I do like Parasite, bring Batman in, already have them middle the Bat family, and then meet up Justice League. Like I do it because I think all those actors are great. It was just, and it's not Snyder's fault that the movies failed. It was Warner Brothers' execution and executives that completely screwed that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the real problem was, I think the problem really does lie in the fact that when the tough got when the tough got going, DC basically stumbled and fell over. Well, Warner Brothers stumbled and fell over when they didn't see the return that they thought they were going to get. And it's crazy to me because Marvel didn't start at the top. No, they got there. They worked. Iron Man was a hit. It was a success. But so technically, so wasn't Man of Steel. Maybe not as much of a success, but it was somewhere to start. And I thought it was a good place to start. Maybe BVS wasn't the best choice to come right after it. I don't know.
Actually, I want to address this real quick.
I do think that the problem lies in the fact that DC wants to use the same actors, but they don't want to continue the Snyderverse or that Snyder storyline. And now that we've seen that Snyder storyline, fans want it, and DC doesn't want to do it. So there's just this real big discourse amongst what we want and what they want to give us. Caiden, what do you think?
I was gonna like I was saying, I was talking to someone
I just wanted
earlier
to match you guys.
I was talking to someone earlier about this, how both cinematic universes are connected. How for the DCU it's character connected, while the MCU is thematically and genre connected. It's the grounded, the cosmic, the multiverse. And then for DCU, it's like you have Harley Quinn mention something from a previous film, like a character, but through her arc. She won't like blatantly say, "Oh, Joker," like in the Suicide Squad, she wouldn't say the Joker. She'll be like, "Oh, all the bad guys I've been with, all the bad people I've been with." So it's like there's a different way that they connect. There's a different way that these two cinematic universes connect. The way that they connect their movies, and I think they do it. Both of them do it very well, like how they do it. It's just that I think Warner Brothers is too worried about money, and they should worry about the critics. And I feel like now that they learn that with the Suicide Squad, that they're learning about the critics' response to the movie. They're like, okay, yeah, the critics love this movie, and the critics, the critics liked the previous films as well, but the box office wasn't as good.
Yes.
Like majority of the DC movies have critically acclaimed, but the box office was not there, but it was there, just not at the level that they want.
So
they expect too much.
So do you guys think that, okay, so suggested in the comments was, here's an idea. Do you think that maybe that the Flash, they're using the Flash as a way to soft reboot the universe?
I would think that they're using the Flash because the way it looks like it's like, okay, but Affleck isn't getting any younger. Like he was already an older Batman,
Yes.
and so like if you're gonna like say like, okay, now if Affleck is busy, they have Keaton to use. If Keaton's busy, they have Affleck to use. So they're trying to like balance that. Like so like so you still have Affleck part of the Batgirl film, but would and then you can do still have Batman Beyond with Terry McGinnis and Keaton, but say there is like Justice League, what's the big Justice League of America like type thing where they if that's like an event that they need to do, and Affleck's busy and they need a Batman to do like computer work or like toy everyone around to do stuff, like and behind the scenes, they can use Keaton. Be like, hey, Keaton, come here, come like do this, like these quick 30-minute scenes.
Okay.
I think that's what the Flash is opening up to, and I also think the Flash is also going to show that there may be someone that looks like we've seen set photos of trailers of stuff like that and actors and we know that there's two actors that were announced with Ron Livingston and Ian Ho, Ian Ho is playing young Barry Allen and Ron Livingston is the recasted Billy Crudup, which honestly I think although Billy Crudup has the acting chops and he was in JL, both JLs, I feel like Ron Livingston has more of a feel of Henry Allen than Billy will. Just because
that's an interesting take.
Yeah, because Billy Crudup had like although like he's like, and also like I think someone said earlier that Billy Crudup was able to do it because he has a relationship with Zach. I think it's exactly that. Like it wasn't like he like went through millions of actors or hundreds of actors. He just went to the actors that he's worked with that has the dramatic chops to work with.
Okay.
And so I feel like
do you think that maybe Zach didn't have too much or too big of a plan with the Flash and Henry Allen?
I think he left it like because he was his character that he was given was Superman, and that was the character he was supposed to open the universe with and end the universe with.
Yes.
Well, his take on this stuff at least. So he wasn't too worried about the other characters because those other characters, if he was worried about every single character, like one person taking over every single DC character would not have, been so well, because then you might get someone saying, hey, like you get accidentally, he might, it's just like, you can't just have one person take over all these characters. That's why, there's multiple directors and multiple writers on projects. That's why I think Zach realized that, oh, I'm only taking care of Superman and I'm going to leave Batman in the hands of Ben Affleck. And then I'm going to leave the hands of Flash into Rick Famuyiwa and Ezra Miller. And then, because he chose his people, well, Deborah and him chose his people. Mostly Deborah chose the people that Zach can work with. And so that's like that's how it worked. But I don't think he was too worried about the Flash, but he was still like concerned about that character, but he wasn't as concerned as he was for Superman.
Yeah. I would love to see Public Enemies.
That could work.
What could work?
Public Enemies.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe what is Sasha Kaije and Leslie Grace? Like maybe that would work better, as they're both young and they're both going to be starting to come into their characters.
But that's my issue is changing these stories like that, or substituting for female for the sake of females. I get it.
I'm saying because again, Affleck is not getting any younger, and also for the Public Enemy story is because like Bruce Wayne and Batman, basically Public Enemies was like
You know what? Now that I think about it, forget Public Enemies. Just adapt the Apocalypse animated movie at this point. Bring Supergirl in that way. Darkseid's still relevant.
Yeah.
Pull in the Justice League. Might as well.
And bring it. Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I was hoping was kind of happening. Like we would get to that apocalypse, like that's what I wanted. The DC animated universe did like they built this, great timeline, and it was, the continuity was there. Yeah, they had other things going on. They had like alternate or like solo Batman films that were outside of that main universe. But they built this great story throughout, starting with Flashpoint and ending with Apocalypse War. And that's what I was hoping that was going to be happening in the live action adaptions. Something similar, doesn't have to be exactly the same. Yet I'm just worried that, we have Black Adam coming, right? We know that. We know that Henry wants to work with, The Rock wants to work with Henry Cavill directly. Like he wants to fight Henry Cavill Superman. They both have the same agent. Yada yada yada. Then we're getting the Flash movie, which supposedly has Ben Affleck, Keaton, and why I said supposedly is now we're hearing rumors of Henry Cavill making an appearance there. So how does this all fit together, and what do we think the Flash is actually going to do? Because I have a feeling that they are going to do a Days of Future Past kind of thing, and they're going to erase stuff and change what they want to better suit the future. Because
it'll be funny if they erase Justice League, like, and then use ZSJL, and then people will be like, "Oh, I thought they were going to do the opposite."
Yes. Imagine if they just flipped us on our heads, and they get rid of that version of it and bring in the Snyderverse. I think it's a more interesting story as well.
Yeah, and I think it'll one, also Barbara Muschietti also said that it celebrates both past, present, and future. And it's not getting rid of anything, and but it's adding. So, like, it's not getting rid of anything current, but it's adding new stories. So I think one way is to, subtract one story from another story, which is the alternate cut for the actual cut that we got.
Okay.
Boom, switch, and that's adding a new story and taking away the old story that doesn't make sense for the overall universe right now.
Okay, and so, oh God, so the Green Lantern stuff, right? So the Green Lantern show that's happening on HBO Max do you think that will be our, like, do you think that's going to be our Green Lantern for the movie universe? Like eventually, well, we know Hal and Jon Stewart are absent from like the cast, but do you think that is going to be the Green Lantern that is tied in directly with the cinematic universe, or are they going to keep all this stuff separate?
I think that the DCEU, the Green Lantern HBO show is connected to the overall DCU. I think that's one of the reasons they just want to introduce, because we've always been introduced to John or Hal first, but never we've been introduced to Alan or Guy or Jessica or Simon first.
Right.
So I think they're giving those like underdogs an upper hand to be introduced first. Then we're going to be introduced to John and Hal.
Okay.
So then it's like, okay, so we know how the Green Lanterns work.
We know where they started.
We know where they started.
First.
We know how they got to Earth. We know how they started. We know how the whole Sinestro, how Alan and Sinestro started at the same time, and then Alan just disappeared, We don't know why. Well, that can be a question, and for the movie, it's like, oh, why is Alan gone? And we'll probably figure out why. Whatever. And then we get the whole Guy Gardner, like that stuff, and then we get the Jessica and Simon, which leads into Hal, and then leads into the movie that leads into Hal and John near the end of the movie.
Okay, so
And I can see the sequel being the actual buddy cop thing.
I would, and that's what I was going to say. I really hope they stick with that, because that idea, that lethal weapon, or whatever, buddy cop style movie would fit.
I think that would work
well
better as a sequel.
But a sequel to
sequel to the actual
sequel to the HBO series.
Yeah, because then you get introduced to Hal near the end of season 1, and then season 2 can possibly not hint at what Hal's doing and hint at to a newcomer coming in.
Okay, Mask of Shy brings up a weird point. So he doesn't think so. So he thinks because it's being produced by Jeff Johns. Think about this, and I think he means Krypton the show, right?
Yeah, Krypton the show, because Krypton the show was gonna. It's like
Krypton
the show connected. Is to the DCEU to what the that animated Spider-Man series was to Spider-Man 1. Okay. It was like Spider-Man 1 it's a loose sequel to Spider-Man 1, while Krypton is a loose prequel to Man of Steel.
You think it's a loose prequel?
Because it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a loose prequel. Okay. But it in season 2 they changed it.
Well, I think Zod being black.
Yeah, that was
totally.
That was another change.
That would have been cool though, had Krypton been a prequel,
because Zach was a producer on the first season.
Right, and this is the thing. This is where DC misses. They swing and they miss every goddamn time. If they did Krypton and it was connected, and it was the story of how Krypton, what happens before Krypton explodes, and they did that would have been such a good story.
Like the crazy thing is, we're introduced to Doomsday 1 in it, and it was showing how it was.
Right.
Funny thing is Krypton actually did. Yeah, Krypton did. Basically, was like I said, it was the animated Spider-Man series to Spider-Man 1. But it's not connected. But it was supposed to be. It's not connected, but it's a quote unquote spin-off.
Yeah,
because
I never really thought while I was watching Krypton, I never wondered. I never wondered oh, why isn't this connected to DCEU? Right. And I never really thought about it. But dude, they really did. They missed.
They did.
They missed a huge opportunity there.
What Nadia Tucker was talking about, the whole what she was when she came out and talked about Jeff Johns, she was mostly talking about this show, Krypton. And then she she was more talking about Krypton, and then she later on talked about Superman and Lois. That was more recent.
Right.
But majority of her
Superman and Lois.
Her whole thing about Superman and Lois because because there are some characteristics that they had for John Steele that were putting down black men.
Okay.
And it was just she was not for it, so she left.
Okay.
And then for Krypton, she was about the hair change and how, and then Jeff Johnson's I know how black woman hair works and all that stuff.
And, right.
Because he was saying they don't change hair like this; they change hair like this. But then she was like, no, they change hair and it's just a whole lot. And
I do remember this stuff now. Yeah, I remember it.
And Jeff Johns he has an ego. He thinks he's entitled, and that's one of the major problems. Being egotistical leads to other problems. Leads to you making racist comments.
Do you think that DC as a brand would be better off without Jeff Johns?
Yes.
Yeah.
DC Films. I'm sorry.
DC Films, yes.
DC Films would be better off with that because it seems like he's the
DC
center
in
of
all
the issue.
would be better off. DC
I
in
think-
all.
Well, he is a good
you
comic
guys,
book
you
writer.
guys put him on this pedestal like he's the greatest.
Listen,
comic
I don't
book
put him on
writer.
any
No.
pedestal.
No, but a lot of people do. A lot of
Oh.
people because they're like, oh, he's a great comic book writer. Like he's good, but you're acting like he needs to. Like DC needs him to get rid of
Oh
him.
no, they don't need him.
Get rid of him.
I think
Get
he's
rid of
a.
him.
I
They'll
think he's
find
a,
they'll
They-
find
they-
another comic writer just as good. I promise.
They should just, like I said, they should just do Deborah Snyder, Jim Lee, co-lead DC Studios.
yeah.
Because when it was
so on
announced
board
that
with
John
that.
Briggs and Jeff Johns were headlining DC Film Studios in 2017, that was like how where they are now. They're not there anymore. And it was 2 years. It took them 2 years to go away.
So Mask of Shy brings up a point saying being about the problem is Jeff. So apparently, he never liked Man of Steel. For a little example, and I didn't know this. I cannot confirm nor deny this. I don't know if this is a fact. I guess
he's entitled.
So maybe because I think someone actually messaged me the other day and said stop spreading misinformation, and it was because I brought up a comment about something, and we read it out loud. So I just want to make this clear that when I bring comments up and I'm reading them, I'm not confirming that it's a fact. I'm just reading the comment. So I literally, someone called me out on the other day about the money thing that Benson's brought up, the studio squad, like the marketing money versus money made, and then someone messaged me privately and was like, stop spreading misinformation. This is all the real information. I was like, okay, dude, like whatever. But okay, so that story aside, sorry, a little rant there. So Mask of Shy is saying that the design of the S for Krypton originally was like the Man of Steel S, but was later changed to look more like the classic Reeves logo.
Yeah,
now it does look like the classic Reeves logo.
Yeah,
that is a fact because I can see that. I don't know if if it was ever, intended to look more like Henry Cavill's. I think that, like I said, I think it's a total missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things where it was like, okay, cool. Like you can have the Zod that they had be like an ancestor of the Zod that we had in the show, or a cousin
or a
Zod.
multiverse version.
Yeah, a multiverse Zod. That's I think what Nadia was like saying, like we have Michael Shannon's Zod. Can we make this a multiverse Zod? And he was like, no, this is Zod of our universe. And was the other thing that was like Nardi wanted to also connect to the Snyder stuff and wanted to branch out. And but it was like this. And it was like, it's a great show. Like,
I like Krypton.
Yeah.
And you know what the sad part is I actually like Stargirl too. Listen, Stargirl, the first 2 episodes of season 2 are actually like they've got me excited. They've introduced Green Lantern's daughter. I do have a video ready about it.
That introduction was amazing.
I
the
do have
episode was amazing.
I do have a video ready, and I'm gonna release it to the members first tonight, and then to the public tomorrow. But I have a review for the first 2 episodes. Dude, the first 2 episodes, they're so good. Like, they're good. Jeff knows how to do certain characters.
Well, it's his characters as well.
But what Jeff doesn't know how to do is work well with others.
Yeah. It's like, because like, again, Stargirl is his child. It's his, like, because he was inspired by his sister who passed away to write this character. Courtney Whitmore is based off of Courtney Johns. And the whole, and that's like,
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, it's a tragic story. Like, because, like, again, we're all human. We all lose people. We all have feelings. So, yes, Jeff Johns is this like terrible executive and entitled, and like, but I give him props on here, Stargirl, and he writes this story that is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what he writes, Jade and or Jenny and Stargirl for the first 2 episodes is amazing. And I hope whenever they introduce Todd Rice, which is Obsidian, hopefully he said it that he's not long behind. So I hope he's in season 3.
Yes. And then I think they're setting up the villain Eclipso, yeah.
Eclipso is played by Captain Boomerang from the Arrow.
Yeah, so. yeah. But Eclipso is a villain that I was really not expecting to ever see, especially in live action. When Cindy Berman, like when she showed that, by the way, the intro scene to Stargirl at season 2.
It's the horror. It was
terrifying.
It's creepy. It's just like it. Like when he was talking, like I think it was either Jeff or Breck Bassinger. One of them was talking about this, and like they were like, "Oh, Freddy Krueger and Pennywise the Clown are inspiration for the season." I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm totally up for the season.
Yeah. It seems that the tone has gotten darker in Stargirl.
Yeah.
And I really like where they're going with, like, so even in Batman the Long Halloween, we remember how we see Batman, how he leaves food for Solomon Grundy.
Yeah. That's how
right?
Yeah.
There's some connection there
that's
too.
Why I like about this. That's why I like about that character too. Like, and there's a history between the two.
And he knows who's doing it. I mean, he knows that he knows who he's leaving it for, and but he knows that he hates him too. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
He feels bad for him, but he hates him.
Yeah.
But he knows that he's hating him for the wrong reasons, though.
Yes.
Like he knows that, but he's not going to accept it because he's just going to do that but he accepts that that's the wrong reason.
Yeah.
To hate him.
So I guess the overarching question would be, do we want, and I'm specifically talking about DC as a brand, do we want everything in DC? I'm talking TV shows like Doom Patrol, Titans, when they do the Gotham series, the Gotham PD series, do we all want this to be a shared multiverse, or do we want it to just stay separate? I mean, do we want it to be able to ever cross over? I guess is the real question.
Yes, I want it to cross
yes.
over.
I think
because
so. I think we need to establish, but I think DC needs to come out and say, this is
because
where
there was a storyline that was hinted at the end of Shazam. Mr. Mind, the caterpillar. He's a world eating caterpillar. He's a multiverse eating caterpillar. He creates gods. He's like an all-powerful caterpillar. This like
and no one knew who he was.
No one knows
they
who
introduced him.
Yeah, but like it's funny how like nobody like realizes that what if the next event like for like DCEU and all DC is basically Mr. Mind as this giant caterpillar eating like multiverses.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
And
that would be literally, and I was kind of like, I was wondering why they set that up, because not wondering why, but I was like, how could this possibly work in I mean, Austin, do you know this? Do you remember the scene at the end of Shazam with the caterpillar that no one really took seriously?
Mr. Mind, which is voiced by David F. Sandberg, the director of the movie.
So, do you think we see that come back in Shazam 2, or do we?
I can see a hint at it again in Shazam 2.
Another hint, and then bring it full on in the third film.
Yeah, I can see him. I can see it in Shazam 2 and Shazam 3 be the gods that Mr. Mind creates with Dr. Zavanna back with the 7 deadly sins, and it be a setup to the big DC multiverse event where he's eating all these multiverses, and then multiverses have to collide with each other.
Right.
And if
Crisis
they don't,
on Infinite Earth.
like it's different than that, because Crisis, it's with
Anti-Monitor and the Monitor.
And the Monitor. Mr. Mind is bigger. It's funny how Mr. Mind, it's a caterpillar. No one suspects this. Mr. Mind is even bigger than them.
I don't know much about the caterpillar. I read up on the character after seeing because after Shazam, I mean no, it was actually before Shazam. I had found out what the post credit sequence was, and I looked into it, and I was like, oh, okay. I've never really, I don't really ever remember a story with this character. But yes, so I don't know too much about it. But if you're saying he's bigger than the Anti-Monitor and the Monitor story, that's wild.
Yeah, because the Anti-Monitor could just clear a multiverse, and the multiverse can come back.
I like what Integrity says here.
Right,
but Mr. Mind, when he eats a multiverse, he absorbs it, and it is no longer there.
But not like Brainiac, where the world just freezes.
No, he absorbs it, and it's no longer there.
And it no longer exists. It's
no
gone.
longer exists. You can't do anything to prevent it to come back. That's like how he's like Galactus and Anti-Monitor combined into one, but a caterpillar.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he can create, and he can give you powers. He's like he said, he's the one that gave the gods their names.
Very interesting. Can Mr. Mind eat the Arrowverse then? Honestly, I think the Arrowverse is at its last straw. I do. I think with Stargirl and Superman and Lois, I think that's going to be the end of that, because they're going to shift over to HBO Max eventually. Like, that's just where they're going. Like, everything needs to be under one house.
Right.
In my mind.
I was also having a conversation with someone yesterday that, like,
so how to end
it's weird how that Batwoman, Superman, Lois, and Stargirl all have HBO Max budgets, but not The Flash and not Legends.
Yes, right, where they're still like WB television budget.
When
yada.
Legends, I'm like Legends is fine because it's meant to be goofy, whatever. And I was saying, like, it's the lighting and the writing for The Flash. Because if they had good lighting, the visual effects would be like TV visual effects. It's fine, but it's the lighting that has the problem and the writing. If those two things were fixed, then it would be a perfectly fine show. It would be like, okay, yeah,
right. Agreed.
Because
I do think the Arrowverse needs to end so that we can move on to it. Like we can move on to these darker stories like Titans are telling. Like, I really do, and I'm still campaigning for this, that they need to bring Swamp Thing back.
Oh yeah,
they need to bring Swamp Thing back. That story was amazing, or that character was awesome, and I like these darker tone shows that DC has been bringing out. I mean, Doom Patrol isn't dark, but it's this dark comedy, and then Titans is definitely a drama, but it's darker in tone. Swamp Thing was like a horror drama, also dark. I like that DC's dark, and then that we have this Marvel stuff that's lighter. I like that, the balance, right? But I don't like that DC's been, trying to kind of copy and do that humorous stuff. I'm not saying the Suicide Squad was a bad movie, because I loved it. I want DC to stay that dark and gritty, yin and yang, for me, at least.
Right.
Because it's all about me and what I want.
Yeah, I think they can, like, there's certain characters that are still that, like I said in previous video on our DCEU movies rankings, that I was saying that Shazam was like the perfect DC movie because not the perfect DC movie, but like a perfect example of how they mix the good dark and the good light and how they mix those two.
I agree. Shazam is a very well balanced film in its tones.
Yeah, it's the same with the Suicide Squad. It's balanced.
Yeah, very, very. Like the blade, like Thanos' blade. It's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Switching over, do you are you guys excited to see the Celestials in the
Hell
mall?
yeah.
I think
We've seen. Funny thing is, we've seen one in Guardians, in both Guardians films, Nowhere and Ego.
Yep. Yes.
Yep.
Well, and we saw the Celestial that we saw in the Eternals trailer. We also saw in Guardians because they show a glimpse of it. You can remember you see the
the 3-eye one.
Yeah.
That is Nowhere. Yeah, that was like in the first teaser, and then they showed that as a promo
and
concept art.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. Like, so it was really weird. I had this dream the other night, and I'm not even joking. This is a real story. So like, I had a dream the other night. I fell asleep in my basement. My basement has no windows. There's 2 windows, one in my bathroom and one in my old podcast room, the room next door to me. But there's no windows down here. There's no way I can tell what's happening outside. But I fell asleep downstairs watching Game of Thrones. And I had this dream. And I was in a building. And it was all glass. And then all of a sudden, we were all talking. And then all of a sudden, like the building turned purple. And lightning struck the building. And I could feel myself and I could see everyone around me shifting through time or space or something, right? And then I woke up and I went outside and because I needed a cigarette after that dream, because I woke up and I was literally shook. Like it was that dream that felt so real. And I can still, 2 days after, I still remember it. In this the craziest vivid way. I felt what it was like to be moved through time. Like I remember the feeling of it. It's the most insane thing I've ever experienced. I was literally, when I woke up, I was shaking, and I went outside and to have a cigarette and kind of calm down. And it was raining, and all of a sudden I look down at my phone, and my phone starts buzzing, and there's an alert for a tornado. Dude, it was the scariest 20 minutes of my life. I swear to God, it was
you had a premonition,
right?
And
another thing about the dream is the raining part. We were inside a building, and all of a sudden, rain was. You can go find my tweet about it. I tweeted the dream. We were in a building inside of a glass. It was an all glass building, or what it seemed to be. And all of a sudden, rain just started moving upward. And we were all like, why is there rain moving upward? And that's when the lightning struck and we were moving back through time. Dude, it was such a weird, like I'm
watching too much Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think.
No, man. That's the thing is, this came out of nowhere. And then I went outside and it was raining and then I got the tornado alert. And I'm still shaking.
You almost went through Wizard of Oz.
I woke up. I woke up and I thought I was dead. Like I thought I died in my sleep. I still think I might have, and this is all just some simulation.
Yes, Ty, you have broken it, so we must end you now. You are over.
You guys are literally not real, and
I'm
just kind of
Matrix.
Yeah. No, dude, it was a crazy.
The screen just glitches.
Have you ever had a dream like that where it felt
had.
so real and so vivid that like? I'm not kidding when I said like it was like I was having withdrawals. I was shaking like a leaf, and I was scared because I had just experienced something and it's weird because I can still feel it. Like I can still feel the way I felt moving through because. It did feel like that moment in The Flash, and I'm not making this up. I swear to God, this really happened.
Right.
You know the moment where he starts going back in time.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it felt like. However, I didn't get to the end because I woke up out of it. I'm still shook about it, as you can tell. I'm still shook.
Yeah, that's why I said a little too much Zack Snyder's Justice League.
But that's the thing is, I've only watched Zack Snyder's Justice League like 4 times, and I watched it like months ago.
Right.
So I was watching Game of Thrones, like, you know what I mean? Nothing
random.
But that and the reason I tell you it is there's no windows down here. I couldn't hear that it was raining outside. I couldn't hear the wind. So I don't know why this happened. This dream was crazy though. And I just wanted to tell you guys all it because it was because we're winding down and we've been at this for 2 hours. So I figured I'd end with that cool story about how I literally felt like I time traveled a little bit. I've time traveled.
There you go.
I've felt what it was. Dude, I wonder what it would feel like to be hit by lightning.
Probably not good.
People have lived through it, right?
Yeah. People have lived, and those people have died.
Yeah. I can't imagine it was like what I experienced, right? Like going back through time. It was weird because I could feel my body being pulled, right? And that's when I woke up, when I felt myself being pulled, and I could see everybody else. And I vividly remember a black woman who was like in the distance, who I could see also morphing, like as we were like being bent through time because the lightning hit the building, like it was like a rod, like a lightning rod.
Right.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was the craziest experience I've ever had. And
sounds intense, yeah.
Honestly, I would like to go back to it. I really would. I would like to. You know how Thor went back to see his vision in the waters? Yeah. I want to go back to that dream. So tonight, I think I'm going to think about it before I go to bed and try to see if I can go back there.
There you go.
And then I'll let you guys know how it goes. Or it could just because I was, lacking of sleep at the time.
For a week.
For weeks and was, streaming at all hours of the day and I was going a little bit insane. Could be that. But yeah, no. So guys, it's at the 2 hour and 6 mark. I had a good time.
It's good. It's nice.
I had a good time. I don't know if we're gonna do a podcast tomorrow. I think we might take the weekend off.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Might take the weekend off. I don't have a guest for tomorrow, so unless one of you guys wants to do it with me, then we can do that.
Take the weekend off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. So, yeah. So
Pop Culture Corner is closed on the weekend.
Right.
Closed on the weekend. The best time to be on YouTube. We're closed. No, guys. But thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. As always, it's always a fun conversation with the Pop Culture Corner guys, and it's everyone. Everyone in the chat, thank you for showing up. Thank you to our newest members, Benson and Saggy Melons. Thank you guys for joining the memberships. You guys are amazing. And thank you to all of our members. You guys are the lifeblood of the Pop Culture Corner. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure to like this video. Share it on social media so your friends, family, and enemies can watch it on replay and see what we talked about because we had a lot of fun. And then, if you haven't subscribed and it was your first time here, welcome and come along for the ride with us. Austin, where can people find you on the Twitter sphere and
on the Twitter? You can find me on the Twitter at AlienLV1023, and then always here on the channel at Pop Culture Corner. Just look for the videos. Yeah, I'm in most of them.
Most of them, if not all of them. He's the new Justice. Most of them.
Right.
But honestly, I am going away this weekend. That's why I'm leaving for New Hampshire. But what was I saying before that? Oh, I'm gonna finish Superman and Lois, and then I think we should have a talk about it because because it seems like a show that has potential, and maybe they could keep that show. I don't know. We'll see how it works. If what you guys are saying is true and it gets worse as time goes by, I hope it doesn't. I'll let you guys know what I thought though. And then we got C coming in a couple weeks. I cannot wait for that. And we have Shang-Chi September 3rd. We might be yes, I did. We might be doing it at a showcase. I'm not sure.
Oh, right. Yes, we might have a showcase.
Okay, might be doing a showcase. That's still in the works and to be decided. But as always, you can come back to the channel anytime you want and have a conversation with us. We love you guys. All right, we do it for you, and we do it for the culture.